As thousands of Canadians find out the hard way every year, possession of marijuana is still very much a criminal offense in this country. And in some provinces, the penalties are stiff. Alberta sends about 20% of its convicted pot smokers to jail. Our special report tonight is about the decriminalization of marijuana. The federal government, in last month's throne speech, said the time has come to strike pot possession from the criminal code. But one of Canada's neighbors, Alaska, might disagree. Its government is having second thoughts about a decision 6 years ago to make carrying under 30 grams of the weed legal. Colin Hoth reports.
Like many Alaskans, Terry Shryack raises half a dozen marijuana plants at his home in Anchorage. The annual harvest is stored in the freezer for happy smoking year-round, and it's all perfectly legal.
I imagine I got 8 or 9 ounces of just bud here.
Even in public, many adults smoke pot with impunity, since in Alaska it's now nothing more than a minor offense to be caught with up to 30 grams of the drug.
Quite a few that I know prefer that as over drinking, and you smoke maybe a joint or bowl at night when they come home from work to let down and relax a little.
Here in the fertile Matanuska Valley north of Anchorage, marijuana grows quite readily in the summertime. In fact, the police say they've come across crops on occasions as big as a couple of tons. But since decriminalization of the drug took place 6 years ago, there's little they've been able to do about it.
And our experience has been that the philosophy just hasn't worked. It just hasn't been clear-cut. And what it boils down to is we've ended up with no enforcement. And so that means it's like it's being legalized. And I don't think anyone would agree that just legalizing marijuana is the answer. The social problems that fall out of it are just horrendous.
Alaska now has a generation of teenagers who were raised with the pot supply in the family freezer. There is rising public concern that the drug is being widely used by youngsters. The police say they're concerned too that the drug is turning up as a factor in traffic accidents and industrial injury. State legislators in Juneau are under pressure from the law enforcement lobbies for re-imposition of criminal penalties, but the administration seems cautious.
Most people are not concerned about adults using marijuana. There is a tremendous concern about children, minors using it. But I think we will have to do something about tightening up on sales to kids. There's no question about that. But I don't think we're in danger of the society falling apart and all the kids becoming hopheads.
A recent opinion poll carried out by the University of Alaska found that less than 1/3 of Alaskans favored the recriminalization. 1/3 liked the law the way it is, but reflecting perhaps the increasing number of users, 37% said they'd like to see further relaxation of the law.
I don't think they'll do anything because with a large population that smokes marijuana like we do, well, they might not get reelected. I think that's why it stayed the way it is, because it's what the people want.
If there's one thing that Alaskans have learned, it's perhaps that if there is a legislative panacea for the marijuana problem, they haven't found it. For the politicians, it just seems to be the kind of problem that keeps on coming back.